So I saw a post um, tonight that was speaking on the divine masculine and divine feminine. And I'm going to read it. It says, the feminine will not surrender to the wounded masculine. A man who criticizes her, belittles, dishonors, controls, manipulates, abuses, or attacks her own inner masculine will not allow it. He will rise fiercely to the forefront to stand guard to do the job himself. The feminine can and will only surrender to the divine masculine. A man who is devoted to her elevates, honors, cherishes, supports, and protects her. A man with boundaries, presence, direction, integrity, accountability, and humility. In this space, she will feel him penetrating her very essence, her body, her mind, her heart, her soul, and she will feel safe, safe enough to surrender. This is the natural law. This is the dance of healed polarities. This is surrender to love. I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because of the way in which she is speaking of this relationship between the divine masculine and divine feminine. And when it comes to the divine feminine, she uses the word surrender. So surrender is a term used in a state of war. It's a word used when speaking of war. If you see that you are losing, you surrender, which shows that you are indeed inferior and that opposing force is superior to you. Why are people speaking of intimate relationships between men and women to where in a way that the woman has to always take the loss? That makes no sense. Women are naturally designed to be receivers, naturally designed to receive. So not to lose, but to gain. This is why our sacred parts are internal. The male, is naturally designed to give. This is why his sacred part is external. So when people are speaking of relationships and basically speaking of relationships as if it is war, it's all wrong. Why does an intimate relationship between a male and a female have to be spoken of as if it is a battleground on which both of you are fighting each other? We are living in a time to where a lot that was suppressed and hidden, and a lot of the lies that were told under the time of the prevailing masculine energy of the prevailing really patriarchal regime is coming to the forefront. So is going to come to the forefront, and then the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine will be able to unite and come together as one. But all of the lies must first be exposed for what they are. This is a lie. Just because you as a female see or experience a male that is actually masculine does not mean that you have to surrender nor submit, because that would mean that you are taking a loss and you are indeed acknowledging that he is superior to you. Why? Why must he be viewed as someone higher than you when it's you who has the ability to bring life from the spirit realm directly into the physical realm? So why must you still be looked at as beneath you? And this post was written by somebody who comes from a culture in which really ever since these people have been in existence, the women have been under patriarchal rule. So I understand why this person wrote this and wrote it in this manner, because I understand the group that this person comes from. But that's not with my people. Um, Men and women had equal rights among my people before European colonialism. So the interesting part is whenever it comes to femininity and women, being themselves and being proud of themselves, people always look to the Americas, and they always look to the melanated women in the Americas, particularly in the United States, because we just have that about us. Because even in, parts of Latin America, the women are still, Latin America and the Caribbean, the women are still very when it comes to their relationships with men, they are very, very oppressed. Us in the United States will tell a dude X, Y, Z. No, this is not gonna happen. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Um, but I've noticed just with other groups of women, it's not that way. Um, they're afraid to speak up to their men. They're afraid to say things. So we're really looked at by all kinds of women from all over the planet as like, okay, how should we move forward? How should we do this? How should we, you know, in what ways can we look up to them and learn how to embrace who we are and learn who we are as women and embrace our natural selves? So that's something I've noticed. But you being with a masculine male does not mean that you have to lose anything. You do not have to submit. You do not have to surrender. If anything, that means you are more able to operate from a place of feminine energy as opposed to having to be on the defense all the time, operating from a place of masculine energy because there is no protective, person around. Um, and so I really just, that's really all I had to say is just, I've noticed whenever these people talk about relationships and even these people who, like, the society is so backwards under patriarchal regimes that people are so disconnected from nature. And because of that, it's like everything is flipped. And there's these lies being taught to where you see, like here in the United States, all these people claiming to teach about femininity classes and what a real man does and all of this stuff, and none of it has anything to do with nature. It all has to do with patriarchal perceptions of femininity, things that were created by patriarchs who hated women, hated the female, and really didn't care too much even about males, because everything that they've conditioned men to believe about themselves is everything that will further disconnect him from the planet, from his divinity. So you guys got to be careful who you're listening to when it comes to relationship advice and things. People will write this stuff and you'll think, oh, it sounds so good, but it's not. You need to pay attention to the words these people are using. That's a problem. That's my message for tonight. Bye.